Well, welcome back. We're excited to be joining you and chatting about MegaCon. We're talking about how much we love conventions and why they are just so good for us as humans and why we love storytelling and fan mashups and all the good things. So here we go.
So we were going to talk about panels and about some of the different things that they have going on outside of Artist Alley and just what it is, how that's beneficial, but also why we love it. What was a panel that you wanted to go see that we maybe didn't go see?
We really only made it to one panel.
I mean,
I had a spreadsheet full of them. Again, that's the hard thing about conventions is that there is so much to absorb. There's so much, that you want to do. I always love to walk the floor and see what's going on there, but it does mean you have to watch the clock and pay attention and take a break to go catch those panels. Inevitably, it always feels like the few panels that you're the most excited for all happen at the same time. Like, that's always the worst when there's just like an entire schedule of things and
Yes.
the like three you want all overlap at the same time.
I felt similarly about our photo ops.
But yeah, talking about the panels, I had to pull up my list because I just couldn't remember. I also think, I do have to say, so there's the conundrum of what if all the ones you want are at the same time. I will also say I don't love when you read a description of a panel and you get very excited for it and then it's not exactly what you want it to be. But so I can't speak to what these actually were because we really didn't go to any of them. But there was like a history of Halloween Horror Nights, just like you were talking about. I worked in the costume shop. I worked that event way back when it used to be in IOA and not Universal because they kind of did it in Universal and then they swapped it and they swapped it back. But yeah, I thought that would be fun and to see if anything, from when I did work, it was going to be covered in that panel, but we didn't quite make it. We just missed it, I think, by 30 minutes. There was a whole one just on the Star Wars John Williams music that looked incredible. There was, of course, a Goonies reunion and a Mummy reunion that was obviously very appealing. There was one that talked about fabric fundamentals and kind of helping to identify, if you've got a cosplay you're excited about, how to identify that as a costumer. I was like, ooh, yeah. Jim Cummings was also going to be one of the guys and kind of just talking about his voices from his career. So yeah, and of course they were going to have a little Goofy movie panel as well, which I love. Goofy movie. We've done that. I think it wasn't our top selling film, but it was very close to our top selling film. It was right as we were clearly moving towards that tipping point at Maven right before we had to close. Oh yeah, and then there was of course one on comics in Hollywood and how those have impacted each other. That seemed like that was going to be very fascinating. But again, there's always so much going on, and like Carrie was saying, I usually am the one to defer to the group. I don't want to rock the boat. Sit down, you're rocking the boat. So I made sure to write everything down and send it out to the group, so if other people were excited, then we could enjoy it mutually together. Yeah, I'm always the first one to just be like, I'm go with the flow, girl. Whatever you guys want, I am happy. That's me. That's literally
I know
who I am.
It's so cute because again, that's the whole entire dilemma we all have, but because I end up being stage manager, so we need to be time efficient. There was actually a mental health and the final frontier panel.
Yeah, there was. I wanted to see that one too. That was also on the list.
We were going to do that because we really wanted to see how others have these conversations too.
Yeah, we literally only went to one panel.
We missed it, which to be fair, we paid
which was
for.
The panel of panels. But still, it would have been nice to go to a couple more.
I'm going to say this out loud.
We did great things. I don't say that with any regret.
Yeah.
We had a great time. There were three really incredible Weta artists on that stage. Because we saw their three faces at the Weta booth. Because they showed that those were the three artists that had been sent from New Zealand to attend the conference and chat about their awesomeness. Because they've been involved with them for 25 years. And they were on those productions. And
which I love.
Mad trivia in their brain about just all the Tolkien, everything. I was like, dude, you guys deserve I hope your salary is very high, and I'm sure it is, and you guys deserve whatever it is, because you guys, know.
Yes. And I think that that's very valid, especially for where we come from as being backstage entities. My daughter has identified she wants to be a backstage person, which fair, because as her mom, I didn't even feel safe with this level of attention that we're doing right now, and this is just me talking about things I feel very well versed in, that I didn't even hit that point until my late 30s, probably, where I felt I could totally do a podcast on movies.
This is called pushing yourself out of your comfort zone.
It's also
so you
called
can grow.
imposter syndrome.
And that.
We're figuring it out, and that's what adults do.
isn't that what we're all doing? We just
so
talked
real.
about that in Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Yeah.
Where he's like, guys, like, I don't know what's going on half the time.
And
But
even The Hobbit.
Yeah.
The whole entire point, the reason that I picked The Hobbit for our photo.
They're awesome.
Yep. But even at one point, the quartet separates, you know, and the two go this way and the two go that way. And it's a necessity, and they all end up back in the same place at the end. And
They're also very different people.
they're very
Look
different
how
in that very short period of
Frodo
time.
and Sam, it's like, what, a year and a half
Yeah.
or something. Frodo and Samwise are very different people, and it doesn't change how much they love each other so much. But they also just have to live very different types of lives because of the ways that their journey changed each of them, which is kind of wild because so much of that journey actually was together. But it still changed them both in insanely different ways. And that's true for all of us, you know? Hopefully, it's the change that we each need as individuals. But you know, some people's journeys are more windy and messy and slower than others. And some people's might be a little more direct or quick or just take us to completely different directions. Sometimes one is windy and one is straight, but you wind up in the same place together. Life is a weird thing. It's just weird. The older you get, the more you're like, oh no, life is weird. Life is crazy. Life is intense.
Efficiency, energy conservation, time
ROI.
management become really big for me because having one lifetime on this planet, I have a very minute amount of time to try and do anything of value and worth.
The Lord of the Rings sweatshirt, all we can do is decide what we're going to accomplish with the time that's been given us, or whatever that quote is on the Lord of the Rings sweatshirt. Yep.
Yeah, and that's so real. And that's why Tolkien, bringing it back to our boys, and why it was so essential to see them, but also why 25 years later, the Lord of the Rings fandom exists and will still always exist. And that's just the cinematic. The Peter Jackson films are still relevant, but the animated Hobbit.
I was going to say, there is still, I mean, it's Gen Xers. It's like even just a smidge before our generation.
Yeah.
Or overlapping at least a little bit. But yeah, the animated version was just so massive.
Yeah. And so Tolkien, he's going to persevere. These stories are going to persevere. There's a reason he's going to join Austen. He's going to join Shakespeare. He's going to join all of these authors, writers, storytellers who touched on something that's so human, which is the perseverance through difficult times.
The writer of K-pop
in a totally different fandom realm, right? Making sure that the same messages, the same morals of the story are being presented in all formats and in all translatable concept. Hobbits, Mordor, the idea of there are insurmountable tasks and sometimes it feels impossible. It's only impossible if you think it's impossible. But wrapping this up of just because this is why we're here, because we could talk like this and about how we want to use storytelling to solve some of these big picture problems, which is why we are here. Because that's all this really is like how we travel through it with our loved ones, knowing, like you said, because that's radical acceptance, by the way.
Yeah.
The fact that you can't control other people's behaviors. That's radical acceptance. So her knowing that and then trying to utilize that while still having her own full emotional reaction and all of it to everything else, that is literally what dialectical behavioral therapy is trying to teach people.
Being able to look at it logically, but still know I'm a human being with a very emotional experience happening internally.
Yeah.
Oh, it is. Being human's crazy.
Yeah.
What a crazy species we are.
Yeah. Who decided to make us conscious? That's weird.
That was a very dangerous, risky thing to do.
Yes.
Bye.
I'll be there by your side when you're all alone. I will be.
MegaCon, we thoroughly appreciate your love and your patience tonight. MegaCon, keep those lights waving. Show all the love. Make all the noise for Dominic Moynihan! Billy Boy! Justin!
Hi, everyone.
Hello. It's an AI audience.
Wow, that was pretty.
Yes, you guys deserve this. Hello.
Can we see them a little bit? Hey,
The house lights?
Yeah, let's have a look. Let's have a look.
Wow, this theater's massive.
I love it. I love it. Sorry we kept you waiting. Sorry we kept you waiting.
You are more than worth the wait.
Blame the elves.
Raise your hand if you remember where you parked.
I love it.
Orlando, it's so nice to be here. Thank you so much for having us.
That can relate to it, and that's very true of our experience. And we can explain what it was like to be making these films in great detail, but we're the only ones that know what it felt like. Absolutely. Which is a really specific sort of sense memory, you know? When I was back. Back in 1999, the pre-dawn century where there's no internet. I mean, yeah, it is true. The conditions of the making was a fax machine. So true. We had plane spotters up in near the airport.
They probably had on their phone, right?
I'm sure they probably do.
Yeah, I mean, we were on set during principal photography without phones as a distraction. We were reading books.
We were reading books.
We were writing diaries. We were talking, which is a very sad thing to say.
We still talk.
I think friendships like yours are often forged through, good times, but definitely through bad times.
Harlow, that's a fine thing. What is it you want?
I want safe passage to shore.
Agreed. Provided you give us what you want. What we want, not what you want. What we want. Right. You'll not touch her.
Easy, mate. Easy, mate. We're negotiating.
You have something of ours.
Perhaps I do.
Ah.
See, everyone's very calm. Very reasonable pirates.
Sean! Sean! Sean!
Sure. You're enjoying.
You're enjoying this.
You're enjoying.
You're enjoying this.
Immensely.
You'd best start believing in ghost stories. You're in one.
Then take me to your captain.
I am the captain.
And a very handsome one, considering the circumstances.
You're not helping. Let her go! Young man, you don't seem to understand. We're not quite mortal.
More spiritually inconvenience.
You said you'd honor the parley.
Of course.
That was honest.
I hate this crew.
You grow fond of them in a terrible life choices sort of a way.
And scene!
That was fantastic.
That was powerful. That was powerful. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, beautiful. I'm nearly crying now. But I
like the one where-
trousers fell down.
I like the one where the little bloke is singing with his father in the grapes. That's a good bit.
That was me.
What? I mean, the big, Helm's Deep didn't suck. That was pretty incredible.
Yeah, I mean, I love Bernard Hill's work is just extraordinary and emotional, beautiful. There's so much heart in the films.
So true, so true.